Good evening, all. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your financial market wrap-up. I'm doing this a bit early today. It is Thursday, July 8th, 2021, and the time at this point about 5:10 in the afternoon, I guess you could call it. You know, they have not reached an OPEC accord, but I want to give you some news. On the energies, on the crude oil, the WTI, we're about to get a new contract. It'll be one of those macro contracts. So I'm guessing it's 1/10 the size of the normal contract, takes the margins way down. You get to build a position with it. The most successful contracts that we've had are these new contracts like that, be it in the S&P, the currencies. They're exploding with those small contracts. And this, why? I wrote about it in today's newsletter, and I tried to explain to people that the higher you go, the margin goes up. So let's assume you're at $73 and now you're talking the potential of a $10,000 to $15,000 margin. Well, traders, they like a lower margin. They want to control more with less money. And it's not necessarily more. They want to be able to play the game. And they want to sometimes build their position. Well, by going to something that's 1/10 that margin, you can do it. The contract's 1/10. You put on a bunch. You don't get charged the same commission. We charge a well-reduced commission to do all that. That comes out this coming week. I expect it to be very popular. You've already got that, as you know, in the stock indices, and you've got it already. Think about Bitcoin. That one exploded with it. Now traders are trading it like mad, you know, and that is the good news, a lot of that going on. So as I look at the market, it broke off today, and boy, when I woke up, I was hitting my board going, is this right? Are we down almost 500 points in the Dow and dramatically lower in the S&P and some of the others? And we most certainly were. I had already put out buy signals for my traders last night, and of course I'm underwater going, what do I do? And that's where the discipline of trading comes in. Win, lose, or draw. If you're not disciplined, you're going to do it all wrong because you're going to trade your gut, and your gut's always wrong. I know you don't think so. I think mine is. So when I looked at the charts, we're backing off. We're down a grand total of 0.75 percentage point for the week. Not very much. I then look at what the market did, and with today's action, you did not take out yesterday's high, you just missed it. You still have in place the pattern of higher lows and higher highs. You've not done damage to that. The pullback, the support in the market's 42.69. Okay, don't want to see it, but that is the support. What would happen if you did that and you took out the low here? Well, that became the question to me. Would you do damage to the overall chart? And you would, because it's right back there at 42.69 1/4. So they're both so close to each other, you'd probably do some damage and take yourself out of the swing line uptrend, but you'd still be at that point holding the 18-day average, which has done a great job of being a turning away point from a big break. I then looked to see where it came from. It came from the upper Bollinger Band, and then I went to the master, which is the swing line, the slow stochastic. And as long as that stayed embedded, and it still is, I'm in the bull camp in the market. So you're still embedded. You'd have to close under 79 not to be, in my opinion. If you rally from here, the resistance is 43.72. 75, that would be the resistance, and that's what I'll hang my hat on if you lose that. I then looked at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ kept its embedded reading, but I'm very aware that they're all arcing down. So you did damage today, but you didn't lose that momentum. So that momentum's in place. It was a pullback. It all comes back if you make a surge to the upside. If you break from here and you get under a 79 reading, I think it's time to be sidelined. In the Dow, you're flirting right now with losing that reading. If you go to the close today, you kept it. Let me get over one more day if it could. It was 82. There you go. 82.31. And now is the market stable? I understood it was going to lose it because of how the market's extended today. Unless they closed at the top part of their day's range, they're going to get back on the formula of this, some of that momentum. Well, tomorrow, if it's under 79 on the close, I think you have to be out. I think the pros, if they can jam the market up, they're looking for 34,865. And the weak one has been the Russell, but it too is finding its support right where it should. It's running the lower Bollinger Band and not trying to stay away from it. Now, it's given up the support of the 100-day average, which means on rallies, that should be a resistance point. Is the market oversold? Yes, you have a reading under 30, so it's oversold. I don't think it's going to attract new selling at that point. In the VIX cash, did the pros write calls today on the first challenge of the upper Bollinger Band? I think they did. Now, that doesn't mean that calls have been the easiest thing to write and do fine with. The puts have been much easier than the calls. But if they did and they're looking for support, it would go back to 1679. Well, if that were to occur, then the stocks are going to rally, the indices. So you put it together, and that's one of the things I was looking at during the day. This is the, let's see, right here, this is the bond market. I think the bonds are due to pull back under the upper Bollinger Band. And I think what scared the market today, part of it, there's two elements that I'm seeing scaring the market. The first part is this continual rise in the market wondering why is that occurring? What is wrong that interest rates keep breaking, okay? The second thing is this COVID-19, and we keep seeing how serious it is. You realize they canceled spectators at the Olympics today in Tokyo. So now nobody's going there, okay? They'll take place, but it's going to be so strange without anybody there. It's a sad state of events, and they spent a fortune doing it. So I can understand Japan going ahead with it. I know that the contestants definitely want that to go ahead, and there's TV rights that recoup some of the money. But it's a financial blow in a big way to Japan. Meanwhile, lower low, higher high, pulling back. I fully expect that to be the case. And in the 10-year, the same. I don't know why that went off the board there, but it did. In the dollar index, you lost the embedded reading on the close, and you lost it under a 79 reading. As far as I'm concerned, the pros came out of the market. Had you been next to me, that famous elbow would have gone out, hit you in the side. Got to be sidelined on it. When we come to the eurocurrency, you have not lost what? Or did you lose? I want you to look at this. Here's the euro at the close of business today. Here it is tonight. I told my traders when I saw the dollar losing it that they'd probably be wise, since the weighting in the dollar index is 40% euro. To maybe cut their position down now in the short. And right now, I don't want to get stochasticitis, as I call it. It looks like it was a good call as you got a 26 reading. In the British pound, the market here too is trying to get up and over. So was that a near-term peak in the dollar is the question to be asked, because if you lose these embedded readings, you're probably going to get a run towards the 18-day average in a number of the currencies. Bitcoin is still in big trouble to the downside, fighting. Next stopping spot, if it breaks from here and it's got everything going for it, 30,194. To break this pattern, you've got to get back over 35,955, but you still wouldn't be bullish. You'd have a lower low and a higher high. Then we take a look at the energies. As I said, you're going to have a new contract to trade here. And I'm excited about it because I'm going to make recommendations using it. I'm telling you this ahead of time. I love, especially if the volume is there and it's trading about the same price as these. Right now I'm trading the micro contract. I want to go to the even smaller one and build positions with it. I like that. So you're looking at the differential narrow in again. You're also looking, and we weren't too bad in the call here, were we? That the upper Bollinger Band was an awful lot of resistance. You had lost your embedded reading. Look at how it went down and made a run to the lower Bollinger Band and has come back. So you've neutralized this whole market. The same in the crude. In the August crude here, this is the Brent, this is WTI. If you look at the gasoline, higher high, lower low, same story there. So when I'm looking at it, it's an interesting event right now. I'm all geared on what's going to happen in stock indices. Was this a head fake and the market's ready to go back up? I think what would help the market is if you broke in the bonds and the notes a bit here. And I think they have the recipe for it, having been 3 days in a row up and over the upper Bollinger Band. Doesn't mean it has to happen, but it's one of the things I'm looking at real hard, and I think that will add, in fact, we just went positive there, that will add something to the story. You know, if you like how I talk here, you're going to love what I do in the morning, because then I wake up and I've seen the action now as we opened at 5 o'clock, and I get to see at 5:40 in the morning when I start recording for you what's going on, where to make your moves, should you be worried about your positions or not. If you haven't bought something, should you be looking to do it? And by the way, I'll tell you, go with the market, come out. The idea here is I want to be your mentor. I want to be the guy that you say, I want to go see what he's seeing on the chart, what's he saying about it. It does not mean I'm going to be right all the time. I'm not. I mean, nobody is. You're able to watch it in 3 different ways, but the best way is on the website. I'll send you a text message if you're in the United States, along with an email when it's posted. Then you go to the website, and they're always posted in this way, and on the scroll bar here, you pull it and it lights up in big ways, and it tells you the name of the area that you're in, because not everybody wants to watch all these. Some people do. It's what you want. I reinforce everything I teach every single day. And for me, it helps me with my analysis, I will tell you that. I love it, and I know people get hooked on it. Why not? Because I'm honest. I tell you what I'm seeing through that. If I'm telling you to buy here, sell there, I don't forget about it. It's not something that I didn't say. I'll follow through on it. I'm not publishing a track record, but I'm trying to be a mentor. How do you get this? Go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. Under the word research, it's all explained there, and that's where you sign up. You have a good day. See you tomorrow.